Here's our first page, our first file, index.html up here in the tab. And we're in live view, which shows what it looks like online. Now I'm going to go to code view. Let's talk about the code view a little bit. We made our first document, and it's a basic HTML5 document, and there's the document label there. Now HTML pages has the opening and closing HTML tag at the top and the bottom. Everything else should be within that. Below that we have the head opening and closing tag. Within that we have metadata, which we'll talk about later. We have our title, which we filled out when we made the file. You can always leave it as it is or change it. And this one I called History Nature Homepage because I am thinking about my target audience I chose for this project. We are doing history-based information, trying to communicate to a specific target audience, and mine's going to be nature lovers or people who like to go out and spend time in nature. So that's why the title is what it is, and you should definitely have a different title than mine. That's in the head section. Now there'll be links and stuff in here to other files eventually and other projects. The viewer on the browser does not really see stuff from this section. Most of what the viewer sees is within the body opening and closing tag when it comes to an HTML document. So we want to put everything we add for the viewer to see within the opening and closing tag of the body tag. Now pay attention to the difference between the opening and closing tag, how they're typed. You have to keep things accurate. If you start accidentally copying and pasting and deleting things and accidentally delete a part you need or duplicate a part that you don't need, things will not work correctly, so you have to be very careful. First thing I can do is click to the right of that body tag, opening tag, hit enter, and then I can start to put something in between here. First thing I'm going to do is create my title, our main heading, in the banner for this page. And that's going to be the name of my website. And I'm going to do that by making that a H1, heading 1, the largest default text size. I'm going to hold the shift key, that greater than bracket, and I'm going to lowercase h and the one. Now Dreamweaver will try to give you some hints here, so it might make things a little easier. My closing bracket, and now it's going to go ahead and give me the closing tag over here automatically. Now be careful so you don't accidentally retype the thing. A lot of Dreamweaver's functions will put things in there automatically. So now I want to type something to be seen by the viewer. I have to put it in between the opening and closing tag of that H1 right here, and I'm going to type in the title of my website. I'm going to call this Naturally Patriotic. I'm not 100% sure about that name. I may come back later and change it. Okay, so there's my H1 text, and hit enter. The next thing I'm going to do is make some H2 text. Lowercase h, 2, and Dreamweaver puts that bracket in, that closing tag in for me. I can click in between there and type in my first subsection. It's going to be called welcome. That's going to be my welcome section. I'm going to have a little welcome message. That welcome message and most of my text in the body will be paragraph text. That's just your basic text, just like in a Microsoft Word document. Bracket, lowercase p, and they'll put that closing tag in for me. And I'm going to click right in between there. I've already had a welcome message prepared, which I just pasted in here. You can definitely take a few minutes, pause this video, and think of a good welcome message for your target audience, whether you chose somebody like sports, the military, whoever you chose. Please don't just copy my message here. Make a message that'll reach that target audience. Mine says, welcome to Natural Patriots. I think I'll call that Naturally Patriotic. Where we will learn about the natural and historic rights and blessings that we should ideally experience in this land. For, as it is often said, This land is our land. It's a little cheesy, but oh well. And it is our duty to respect and protect it. So join with us as we follow the path back to the founding of this great land. Alright, now one thing I may want to do at this point is go to my tools and spell check. Just to make sure everything is spelled correctly, and it looks like there are no problems at this point. Double check that. Good, I'm going back to code side. Not the best speller, so it's good to check it every once in a while. So there's my welcome message. Paragraph text next. I'm going to add some more H2. I could type it out, the H2, or since I already have it here, I could just highlight that, copy it, Command C or on a Mac or Control C on a PC. Come down here and Command V or Control V and paste that. And I want that to say, it's going to be the next subsection. First one is welcome. This one's going to be the Declaration of Independence. Good. And I'm going to put some paragraph text in here. I'm just going to put some placeholder text for now. And just put a little something in there. Next, H2 is going to be the Bill of Rights. Now hopefully you guys have read these before. Pretty good writing, pretty important documents. And put a placeholder paragraph text there. And I'm going to hit enter. And my last H2 section is going to be external links. So instead of just retyping everything, I can copy that, paste it here, highlight this, and type in external links. And I'm just going to put some paragraph text here. So you can see it's pretty easy for copying and pasting. Just got to make sure you select the whole line of code that you're trying to. And it's pretty easy for just typing things also. Ooh, one thing I did forget is my navigation bar. So I can click up here to the right of my naturally patriotic H1, hit enter. And on a new line, I'm going to put in some paragraph text for a very simple navigation bar. Now we'll do a lot more complex one in the rest of our projects, but this one will be a very straightforward, simple one. I'm going to type in the word home, hit space, type in the word about, space, contact, space, and then more info. Or we can just say more. Let's call it more info. Okay, so those will be my different buttons, and we'll make links in a little bit and see how that works. Good. So let's check out the live view. Now we should always save this. We've done a little bit of work, so let's save. We should always save from time to time. When we have a couple files open, we can have more than one file at a time. If we have a couple open, we should say save all and make sure everything is saved. Okay, from the live view, we can see how it looks. We already have some different levels of hierarchy. The most important text, naturally patriotic. We have our buttons that will become links in a little bit. We have our different sections that are at an equal level as H2 and the text underneath there. Well, the next thing I'm going to do is get the text for the Declaration of Independence, but let me go back to the code side. And we're going to paste it right here over these guys. Now you could type that whole thing from scratch, and it might be a fun thing to do to really get you to understand that Declaration of Independence, but if you do not feel like doing that, we can come to archives.gov, the official page for Declaration of Independence, and I've already highlighted a lot of this text. Okay, I want to make sure I don't go too far and highlight some of these other tables. I don't want to start too high up here and get all these lines and other text I don't want. I can start right here in Congress. I could even start at the unanimous declaration if you want. And copy, Command C. Now I'm showing you that you can copy text from the internet and paste it right into your website. So I copy that text, and I'm going to place it right here underneath that H2, right? I'm going to highlight that paragraph text. I'm not just going to hit paste. I'm going to go to Edit, Paste Special. edit, paste, special. Then I have a couple options. I can do just the text, text with structure, which gives me the paragraph text, any lists, tables, etc. Text with structure plus basic formatting, that would give me any of that bold or italic text. And I don't really want to do any of that. I just want the text with structure. I do want the paragraph tags. Now there may be some tags in there I don't want since I'm getting it from another website. We can always delete those. Okay, there we go. So a lot easier than typing that all out, but I do encourage you to read that. There's some pretty good ideas in there. It's worked so far. Okay, now I see there's a H3 right here. I could leave the H3 or I could change it. I think I'm going to keep that consistent with my paragraph text. I just want that to be paragraph text. Okay. Also, I'm scrolling down here. I see this section is set off by a div tag. I don't really need that. And we'll talk more about div tags in our next project, so I'm going to get rid of that. And it should be pretty good. I just want to make sure I have my closing P tag here. You can see that it did transfer each opening and closing P tag, paragraph tag, for these different lines, for these different paragraphs. So now when we look on the live view, we can see it actually presents it with the actual paragraphs. If I did not paste it special, it would just be one big chunk of text. I'll go back to my code view, and I should save that. File save. Save every once in a while so you don't lose any work. And next I'm going to go to the Bill of Rights and do the same type of thing. Now make sure you get there's some previous versions, make sure you get this latest version, the one they actually use. It has a preamble to the Bill of Rights and then all the different amendments. We know the Bill of Rights are the first 10, hopefully we know that. I'm just going to encourage you to read this, and I'm going to copy these. Command C or Control C on a PC. Come back here to my Bill of Rights section, highlight that whole line there with the paragraph text placeholder, and Command V or Control V. Oop, that's not right. See how it did the whole text with no formatting. Command Z. I have to go to Edit, Paste Special, Text with Structure, and OK. And that'll give me all that different text. Now they do have some changes here. They do have some changes in their formatting, or some additional stuff we may not want to keep. So let's see how it looks in the live view. Down here to the Bill of Rights. Now it looks pretty good. It's listing these as H3, and that's fine. I think it looks alright. I could change those to paragraph text or some other text if I do not want those to be H3. Let me go back to my code view, and let's double check the text from the code view. Bill of Rights. Preamble is H3. I think I'm going to make that just paragraph text. Now they have these page breaks, or these line breaks, what are called soft returns. And it gives you a return without starting a whole new paragraph. Now I look down here to these various amendments. And it looks like it's got a link to the different pages. I don't really need that there since it's not part of my website. So I'm going to delete this link here, this A, opening and closing A tags. I see it made the amendments H3. I could leave them H3 or I could change them. I think I'll leave them. And there's a link to a CSS class, it looks like. I don't need that, so I'm carefully highlighting the complete opening and closing of this A tag. We'll talk more about those later. I don't really need these. Now, this would be where you can link to specific areas in the file, but since we don't have those in our website, we don't want to link to them. So I'm carefully just getting rid of 10 of these links. Don't go too far. Make sure you're not accidentally deleting part of your P tag. So double check all your tags when you're done deleting stuff. I got to click and drag over these different sections. Oops. Click to the right or left. Click to the right of that A tag. Drag over that whole opening, closing tag and delete that. Now it should be okay if you left them in there, but it's not cool to have extra code that's not doing anything. So we're going to get rid of them. And there we are.